Hey guys, so this morning I was playing Evolve. Now while you're watching this video, I want you to look at this gameplay. Look how spectacular it is. The map is absolutely brilliant. The wildlife is so intuitive and awesome. Keep in mind that a player is controlling the Kraken, the monster that me and my teammates, who are also people online, are trying to hunt. This game is so beautiful, so perfectly worked out, so even. The matchmaking is absolutely spot on. No monster is overpowered and no person is overpowered. This game is absolutely perfectly designed and I am proud to have it as part of my collection. However, I would not recommend that anyone buy it until it's around about $20. And this mindset is starting to seep its way into every game that we see nowadays. Now keep in mind that when it comes to DLC and when it comes to game size and things like that, DLC, I don't mind buying DLC. I'm happy to have DLC if the game is big enough, if the game is good enough, and if that DLC is not going to stop me playing any other part of the game, or it's not going to hinder my experience if I do not buy it. Now some games are brilliant and execute these DLC plans perfectly. The best example I can think of would be The Witcher 3. That game is absolutely huge. It is massive. It would be a challenge to, locate every part of its maps and to play every mission it has to offer, let alone the 11 DLC packs that they have come with it. Now granted, some of these, of course they're being free, some of these are quite small, but they're there, and they exist. Now there is more DLC I can get, there is a season pass I am able to get, but not buying this has not hindered my experience whatsoever, and it is there if I want it, and that is the point that DLC should be trying to make. Extra content if you want it. If the game is good enough, you should be able to buy it. On the edge of these games, we have games like Battlefield 4. Now, this is where it sort of gets a little iffy. This is where I would say it starts to draw the line. The game is big, the multiplayer is spectacular, it is so fun and it is so deep, and there is so many weapons and things that it's absolutely awesome. Plus a single player campaign makes the game pretty spot on by itself. However, introducing DLC packs and map packs and things like that you can only play by purchasing their DLC content splits the community. You now have all the best players making their way onto DLC components, and all the, guys that either just can't afford it or are just not good enough to be bothered to get it, left alone in these empty servers on the normal maps. Until eventually, the DLC becomes, so small and so split up that the community just sort of starts to disintegrate, and I end up just having to play the normal map packs anyway. So why even bother with the DLC? I've just wasted my money on a season pass. It splits the community and it ruins the fun for everybody. That's where I start to draw the line. Then we get more games. We get games now like Star Wars Battlefront, Destiny, and Evolve, just like you're looking at now, where the DLC was pretty much necessary. This game was so small. What we had was brilliant. I was so amazed. For the first few days, this game was all I wanted to play. I thought I was going to be hooked on it for years. But you start to realize its lack of content. Destiny was an extreme example of this. No content at all. I finished the game in one weekend after it came out and could not be bothered with the grind because I'd played the same strikes over and over and over again. Take in mind that once the DLC came out, once the Taken King had come out, this game was everything I wanted it to be, and I got hooked on this game once again. But it was such a struggle to get through, the fact that I knew that I had to pay more. I had given them twice the money that I'd spent on the original game, and that is not good enough. Star Wars Battlefront does lack a little content. Now for me, it is good enough. For me, I like Star Wars Battlefront, but I have to agree, we have no idea what the season pass involves. We only have 4 maps for its biggest game mode, and there is no story mode. Why? Why do we do that? Games such as Dragon Age Inquisition, Fallout 4, The Witcher 3 all have a huge amount of content and DLC that is not going to inhibit its experience and is not going to split the community like Battlefield 4. Why does it do that? And why are we putting up with it? Well, I'll tell you what, we're not putting up with it, and people are starting to speak up with their wallets. Only the other day in the gaming magazine did I see an article about the hatred we are having for DLC and the lack of content in video games. It's good to see. A change is coming, guys. Hang in there. I ask you to speak with your wallets. Do not buy DLC unless you really want it. Do not buy it if it's going to hinder your experience. Microtransactions are just as bad. Creating gaming simulators in games like NBA 2K and FIFA 16, forcing people, getting people addicted to buy money and spend more money over and over and over again. It's ridiculous, it's sad, and it's just plain wrong. So I push for game developers to bring out more content. You don't have to bring out free DLC. Put it in the game. Put it in the original game. Let us play the game it was supposed to be, and the gaming companies will only go up further and further. If we had less microtransactions and DLC that did not hinder my online experience in any way, I would be purchasing more games than ever, and my game size would be twice as big. You would be making twice as much more money off me. And people, it's starting to bring off that negative effect. And that is a good sign. It's the beginning of change, guys. People are not liking it, and people are starting to speak up. Let us continue forward, and it will change. Our experience will change, and DLC will be no more. So I'll catch you later, guys. TK out. Let me know what you think in the comment below, and share this video if you agree. But otherwise, I'll catch you later. TK out. Have a good one.